minute. Who are you?
Here's an experiment you can try right now. Scroll through Instagram and pay attention to celebrity smiles. You'll notice something really unsettling pretty quickly. They all look exactly the same. We're talking perfectly aligned, impossibly white, and weirdly uniform rectangles that seem to have been copy-pasted from the same catalog. It's not just a coincidence. We're witnessing what I call the great homogenization, where every distinctive feature that once made someone memorable is being systematically erased in pursuit of an artificial standard of perfection. This isn't really about teeth at all. It's about the slow erasure of human character in the age of Instagram. What's particularly troubling is that many of these celebrities had smiles that were actually their signature, the thing that made them stand out in a sea of faces. And by the end of this video, we'll uncover something even more disturbing. Market of so-called veneer technicians operating out of hotel rooms, permanently damaging people's faces for a few $1,000s. Today, we're counting down 15 celebrities who traded their unique, authentic smiles for generic perfection and lived to regret it.
Everyone's brokenhearted that the gap in your teeth is not there anymore. And fans are heartbroken. People are upset. No one knows what to say.
Number 15, Dakota Johnson. When Dakota Johnson closed the gap between her front teeth, the internet genuinely mourned. There were articles, social media threads, and even fan campaigns, which tells you something profound about how much that tiny imperfection meant to people. It wasn't just a dental quirk, it was her signature, the thing that made her face instantly recognizable and approachable. But here's the twist that makes this loss even more tragic. Unlike most stars who pay thousands to erase their character, Dakota didn't actually choose this generic look. On The Tonight Show, she revealed the surprising truth. She simply removed a permanent retainer to help with neck pain, and her teeth naturally slid together on their own. She didn't buy this smile. In fact, she admitted she was really sad to lose her trademark gap and even tried to get it back.
I had a permanent retainer since I was like 13, and it was just glued to the back of my teeth. And I was having a lot of neck problems recently, so
And this is exactly why she is the most important name on this list. She is the ultimate proof that perfection is overrated. Even though this wasn't a cosmetic procedure, the result feels like a genuine loss. Her smile now looks technically perfect, just like everyone else's. And it confirms what we've been saying all along. We don't want the standardized ideal. We want the character that makes a face memorable.
But if we have a look at more recent years at this nice final photo, you'll see her teeth are whiter and brighter than ever. And I want to say she's had some sort of veneers put on.
Number 14, Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus during the Hannah Montana era had what experts call a gummy smile, where her gums were prominently visible when she smiled, along with some natural spacing and minor gaps. It was youthful, it was endearing, and it made her look like the girl next door that millions of kids could relate to. Fast forward to today, and that signature smile has been completely transformed through what insiders believe was a combination of gum contouring, Invisalign treatment, and porcelain veneers. The new smile is mathematically perfect, uniformly white, and completely symmetrical, but it's also completely generic. What's particularly striking is how heavy and opaque her new teeth appear, lacking the translucency that natural enamel has when light passes through it. Cosmetic professionals who've analyzed her transformation note that the gum contouring procedure she underwent is irreversible, meaning there's no going back to that original smile, even if she wanted to. Her facial proportions have permanently changed, and with them, a piece of what made her visually distinctive during her most iconic era. The irony is that her imperfect smile was actually an asset during her transition from child star to adult artist, giving her an authenticity that separated her from more polished pop stars. Now she looks like she could be any number of celebrities who've had similar work done, and that loss of visual identity is something you can't put a price on.
This was her when she first got famous, and this is her now. So I do think she had Invisalign, but she definitely has veneers.
Number 13, Millie Bobby Brown. Let me be clear up front. This isn't about criticizing a person's choices, but rather examining the intense pressure that the industry places on child stars to conform to impossible standards. Millie Bobby Brown rose to fame in Stranger Things with a smile that had natural character, slightly crooked teeth with minor crowding that gave her face an authentic, approachable quality that perfectly suited her every girl character. However, reports indicate she underwent a series of procedures including Invisalign treatment, followed by what appears to be porcelain veneers, or composite bonding on her lateral teeth. The transformation happened relatively quickly, and while her current smile is technically flawless, something was lost in the translation. What's particularly concerning is how young she was when these procedures were done, essentially erasing the natural evolution of her face before she even reached full adulthood. Sources in the cosmetic field have noted that even professionals warned her to preserve her natural smile, with one prominent cosmetic dentist specifically publicly mentioning her by name on social media, pleading with her not to get veneers. The fact that she pursued these procedures anyway speaks to the immense pressure young actresses face to achieve a specific look. Her case represents a larger tragedy, an entire generation of young stars being taught that their natural features aren't good enough, leading them to make permanent alterations before they're old enough to fully understand the consequences or appreciate what made them special in the first place. Number 12, Zac Efron. Zac Efron's transformation is particularly jarring when you compare his High School Musical era smile to what he has today. Back then, his teeth had a natural appearance slightly uneven with a small gap in the middle that gave his face an accessible boy-next-door quality that made him a teen heartthrob. Fast forward to his post-Baywatch career, and insiders suggest he's had what appears to be a full set of zirconia veneers that have dramatically altered his facial structure. The new teeth are noticeably wider, more uniform, and create what some observers have described as a blocky appearance that changes the proportions of his lower face. What's particularly interesting about his case is that his original teeth were already quite good, certainly better than average, which raises questions about why he felt the need for such extensive work in the first place. The transformation isn't subtle. It's one of those before and afters where you can immediately spot the difference, and not necessarily in a flattering way. Some fans have actually expressed disappointment with his new look, noting that his original smile was part of what made him charming and relatable. The mathematical perfection of his current teeth creates an almost artificial quality, as if his face has been slightly altered in post-production. It's a reminder that Hollywood's pursuit of perfection can sometimes overshoot the mark, creating results that are technically flawless, but somehow less appealing than the imperfect original they replaced.
She got some veneers, but didn't floss before a public appearance. They look great, but again, there's food in her teeth.
Number 11, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan serves as perhaps the most visible example of what we might call the Miami shift, where distinctive stars slowly morph into the same generic Instagram face through successive cosmetic procedures. Her original smile during the Mean Girls era had character, some staining, slight unevenness, but overall a natural appearance that matched her girl-next-door persona. Over the years, she's undergone what appears to be extensive work, including teeth whitening, and what sources believe are either ceramic crowns or porcelain veneers that have completely transformed her smile into something bright, white, and uniform. The challenge with her transformation is that it didn't happen in isolation. It occurred alongside numerous other facial procedures that have gradually eroded the unique features that made her recognizable. Her current smile, while technically perfect, could belong to any number of reality TV stars or influencers who've had similar work done. What's particularly telling is how her case illustrates the slippery slope of cosmetic enhancement. You fix one thing, then another, until the cumulative effect is a face that no longer resembles the person you started with. Industry observers have noted that her teeth now look almost too perfect, lacking the natural variation in color and translucency that makes real teeth look organic. It's a cautionary tale about how the pursuit of perfection can lead to homogenization, where everyone ends up looking vaguely similar rather than distinctively themselves. Number 9, Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny offers us something rare and valuable in the veneer conversation, a celebrity who openly admits he regrets the decision. In a particularly revealing interview from 2021, he looked back at a photo of himself from the 2018 Latin Billboard Awards and candidly stated that his jaw hurts just looking at the picture, explaining that he just had his teeth done and has always regretted it. What makes his story particularly compelling is the specific detail he provided. The veneers were apparently wrong from the start, so his grill didn't fit properly, leaving him unable to close his mouth comfortably. This isn't just a cosmetic complaint, it's a functional problem that affects his daily life and comfort. The fact that a global superstar with access to the best professionals and unlimited resources still ended up with problematic veneers should give everyone pause. His openness about the physical discomfort he experiences serves as a powerful counterpoint to the glossy Instagram posts and celebrity endorsements that make veneers seem like a magic solution. The jaw pain he describes isn't uncommon. When veneers aren't properly aligned with your natural bite, they can create chronic discomfort and tension. What's particularly valuable about his testimony is that he's not just complaining about aesthetics, he's describing genuine physical consequences that he has to live with every single day, demonstrating that even the most expensive procedures can go wrong and create permanent problems that money can't always fix. Number 8, JOJO SIWA. JOJO SIWA reportedly spent an astonishing $50,000 on her veneers, crafted by a Beverly Hills cosmetic professional, which represents one of the most expensive transformations on this list. Her childhood smile had natural spacing and youthful character that matched her energetic energetic, larger-than-life personality perfectly. However, the new smile created by this extensive work has what many observers describe as a cartoon effect. The teeth are so impossibly bright and uniform that they almost don't look real anymore. What's particularly striking about her case is the disconnect between the cost and the result. Despite spending enough money to buy a luxury car, the outcome is what some professionals call too white for her age, creating an appearance that seems more like a costume than a natural smile. At the 2024 GLAAD Media Awards, when asked what was the most expensive item she was wearing, she humorously responded that it was her teeth.
Most expensive thing I'm wearing, my teeth.
Which suggests the financial weight of this decision remains significant in her mind. The challenge with her transformation is that the mathematical perfection and extreme whiteness create an uncanny valley effect, where the smile draws attention to itself rather than enhancing her face. Her original teeth, while imperfect, had an authenticity that suited her brand and made her relatable to her young fan base. Now, the smile looks like something that could be purchased rather than something natural, which fundamentally changes how people perceive her and raises questions about whether that level of artificiality aligns with the authentic, energetic persona she's built her career on. Number 7. Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell's Veneer saga represents one of the most expensive and repeatedly revised transformations in celebrity history, with reports suggesting he's spent approximately £91,000 trying to achieve the perfect smile. After decades of smoking had discolored and damaged his natural teeth, he underwent extensive work in 2019 that immediately drew widespread mockery for being what critics described as unnaturally white and opaque. Here's where we need to understand some science. Natural teeth have translucency, meaning light passes through them and creates subtle variations in color and depth. Cowell's initial veneers lacked this quality entirely, appearing solid white like piano keys, which is exactly what people noticed and criticized. The teeth didn't interact with light the way natural enamel does, creating an artificial appearance that was impossible to ignore. What's particularly revealing about his case is the pattern that followed. He underwent multiple corrections between 2020 and 2022, essentially replacing his veneers several times as he chased a more natural appearance. Each revision cost thousands more, and despite all that investment, professionals who've analyzed his current smile note that it still lacks the authenticity his original teeth possessed, even with their flaws. The irony is almost painful. His original teeth had character and distinctiveness that matched his sharp, acerbic personality, but the pursuit of perfection resulted in a generic smile that required constant adjustments. His case perfectly illustrates why cheaper options exist, because even the most expensive procedures don't guarantee satisfaction, and sometimes create an endless cycle of revisions and refinements that never quite achieve what the natural smile already had. Number 6. Madonna. Madonna's case might be the most fascinating on this entire list because it perfectly captures the psychological complexity of cosmetic enhancement. Her famous gap between her front teeth was genuinely iconic. It was her brand, her signature, the feature that made her face instantly recognizable across decades. However, at some point she decided to close that gap through veneers and bonding, creating a more uniform, traditional smile. But here's where the story gets really interesting. Unable to accept her own veneered smile, she's now taken to wearing elaborate diamond-encrusted grills and gold-tooth jewelry, specifically to cover the cosmetic work she paid to have done. In 2022, she revealed custom-designed lapis and diamond grills as her 64th birthday present to herself, and in defending this choice, she stated that she has really bad teeth. Think about the psychology of that statement for a moment. She destroyed her unique, iconic gap to achieve a perfect smile, only to cover that perfect smile with jewelry because deep down she's dissatisfied with the generic result. It's a stunning example of what happens when you erase the very feature that made you distinctive. You spend the rest of your life trying to recreate uniqueness through external additions. The gap wasn't a flaw, it was her brand, and removing it left her looking like everyone else. Now she's essentially trying to manufacture uniqueness through expensive accessories, when all she had to do was keep what she was born with. It's the ultimate irony in the veneer epidemic. Fix yourself into generic perfection, then spend more money trying to stand out again.
7 days a week.
Number 4. Cardi B. Cardi B famously rapped about her transformation, stating she got a bag and fixed her teeth, referencing the $12,500 procedure she had done in 2017 by a prominent cosmetic professional. Her veneer journey became instantly iconic in hip-hop culture, representing the classic rags to riches narrative where success means upgrading everything about yourself, including your smile. However, the fragility of this expensive investment became painfully clear in 2024 when she lost a veneer while eating a hard bagel, an incident she documented documented on social media with humor, but which revealed the underlying vulnerability of the procedure. Despite spending thousands on professional-grade porcelain veneers, she demonstrated that they require constant vigilance about what you consume. The incident sparked an important conversation about the cost versus lifestyle equation that nobody discusses when you're sitting in the consultation chair being sold on the dream of a perfect smile. Her original smile, with its natural gaps and imperfections, had genuine authenticity that resonated with her fan base and matched her raw, unfiltered personality.
When people be commenting like, oh my gosh, Cardi, why?
While she stated that comments about her teeth used to deeply hurt her, the transformation came at the cost of spontaneity.
How y'all doing, motherfuckers?
She can no longer simply eat without fear of losing a tooth, which is something most people take completely for granted. The bagel incident became a cultural moment precisely because it revealed what many people suspect, but few celebrities admit. Veneers aren't the permanent, worry-free solution they're marketed as, but rather a constant source of maintenance that follows you for life.
It is cheap and fast, but the amount of long and expensive dental work you are going to need after you go this route is 5 or 6 times the amount.
Number 3, KEHLANI. KEHLANI's veneer story represents a turning point from aesthetic concerns to genuine health concerns, and it's one of the most important cautionary tales on this list. At 19 years old, trying to save money, KEHLANI opted for cheap composite resin veneers while traveling abroad, paying just $10,000 for a full set instead of the standard $2,500 per tooth that porcelain would have cost. The consequences were severe and multifaceted. The teeth became unnaturally white, boxy, and square-shaped, but more concerning was that they made it impossible to access the gums for proper flossing and cleaning. This led directly to gum disease, rapid deterioration of the veneers, and a cascade of expensive corrective procedures that ultimately cost an additional $30,000. In a viral message to her millions of followers, she explicitly warned people to stop traveling and getting bad resin veneers, explaining that the cheap route costs 5 or 6 times the amount in subsequent work. For 3 years, she lived with a smile she regretted before being able to afford proper replacement. Her natural smile, while not perfect, was uniquely hers and functionally sound. The forced uniformity and artificial appearance cost her not just money, but years of self-consciousness and genuine health concerns. She proved that cutting corners on something this permanent isn't a savings hack. It's a dangerous trap with consequences that multiply over time.
I wanted the more straight under here, because some people, like these are my temporary ones, you'll see these attempts.
Number 2, Katie Price. If there is one name that defines the risks of this industry, it is Katie Price. In fact, media outlets now refer to failed procedures abroad as the Katie Price effect. She traveled overseas multiple times to chase a brighter smile, live streaming the process to her fans. But what started as an excitement quickly turned into a permanent cycle of maintenance and regret. Her story brought the term turkey teeth into the mainstream. This involves aggressively filing the natural teeth down to small posts to fit the crowns over them, a level of invasiveness that many patients don't fully grasp until it is too late. The consequences for Price have been relentless. Her veneers have come loose repeatedly, including one infamous moment where a tooth actually fell out while she was live on camera. But the invisible issues are even worse. Because the fit was too aggressive near the gum line, she developed a condition where the gums constantly recede and pull away, creating visible gaps and severe irritation. This creates a trap for debris that professionals call veneer breath, a persistent, unpleasant scent caused by material getting stuck where a toothbrush simply can't reach. Her natural smile is now gone forever. Because her real teeth were filed down so drastically, she can never go back to her original look. She is now locked into a lifetime of expensive management, all in pursuit of a perfect smile that she never actually achieved. We have finally arrived at the darkest corner of this epidemic, the rise of the traveling tech. These are unlicensed individuals touring the country, setting up shop in random Airbnbs and hotel rooms, offering a Hollywood smile for just $1,500. But here's the terrifying reality. They call themselves veneer techs, a title that sounds official, but is completely made up. In the medical world, that job title does not exist. To understand how dangerous this is, look at the story of a woman named Melanie. She was scammed into paying $5,000 to learn this trade, thinking she was starting a career. What she got was a 2-day seminar that consisted mostly of watching videos. Her total hands-on experience before getting her certificate? 25 minutes on a stranger in a motel room, 25 minutes. That is all the training she had before she was qualified to permanently alter a human face. The instructors treat major dental work like it's a simple manicure, ignoring the fact that teeth are living organs. Many of these techs believe that simply signing a waiver saying, "I am not a dentist," protects them from the law. It doesn't, and the results are catastrophic. Victims are coming forward with stories of agonizing pain, veneers falling off within hours due to inflammation, and repair bills at real dentists that cost $50,000 to fix the mess. This is no longer just cosmetic enhancement. It is a public health crisis where untrained amateurs are performing irreversible surgery on victims who don't realize the danger until it is too late. The interesting thing is that we're starting to see pushback against this entire culture. Celebrities like Amy Lou Wood are openly refusing to get cosmetic work done, calling her decision to keep her natural teeth rebellious and expressing genuine joy when people compliment her imperfect smile after years of being for it. Even cosmetic professionals are speaking out, with some dentists creating viral content specifically warning celebrities not to get veneers, which tells you everything about how far this trend has gone. The veneer epidemic represents something larger than just teeth. It's about a culture that teaches us to hate what makes us individual, to sand down every unique edge until we're all smoothly identical. Your crooked tooth, your gap, your slightly off-center smile, these aren't flaws that need correcting. They're the signature features that make your face yours, that make you recognizable, that give you character in a world of filters and porcelain uniformity. In the pursuit of perfection, we're creating a generation of people who all look vaguely the same, and we're doing it at enormous financial cost and permanent loss. So before you start browsing before and after photos, remember this. In a world where everyone can buy the same smile, your imperfect, authentic one might be the only real thing left.